Hello everyone and welcome back to Nicole's Needlecrafts. I'm Nicole and today we're going to be talking about my most recent Hobbii haul. I got quite a lot of yarn from Hobbii, what's new, and this time around I ordered some things that I have specific plans for. I've got specific projects in mind, and then I ordered a couple of Acrylic Lucky bags. Now, I've ordered Hobbie's Lucky bags before, but I've only ever ordered the wool Lucky bags. I've actually got another video where I opened 6 wool Lucky bags on camera, and I'll link that up in the card and in the description below in case you're interested in seeing what their Lucky bags filled with wool have to offer. With that being said, let's get into today's video. So I'm going to start with some of the things that I purchased with specific projects in mind, starting with a whole bunch of this Happy Sheep baby wool. Now this one's kind of hard to see. It's a bit of like a charcoal heather type look, but I'll hold up this more burgundy color here. So you can see that it's a fairly fine yarn. It is 100% wool. They class this as a size 1 weight, which I would say it's a heavy one. I would say it's 1 or 2 maybe. You get quite a lot of yardage from just one of these balls. You get 180 yards or 165 meters in a 50-gram ball of 100% wool. Now I got quite a few of these because I wanted to actually make a sweater for myself out of them. I'm thinking of doing a colorwork yoke sweater for this fall, and it just seemed like a really good time to buy. These in particular are one of the products on Hobbie's website, at least when I bought them. They're one of those products that the more you buy, the cheaper they are. So I believe regularly one of these is something like $8 a ball, but when you buy more than 10, for example, it's 4 something a ball. I will put the specifics on the screen for you to read. So I ended up getting a whole selection of colors that I thought went really well together so I could make myself a colorwork sweater. So these are going to be the colors. I got 5 of this dark gray because I want that to be the main color, 2 of the off-white, 2 of the burgundy, and 3 of the rusty orange, just because I just love colors like this. It's my favorite. Orange is my favorite color. Hopefully later this year, maybe this summer, I'll start working on that sweater, and there will be some form of video to go along with it. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure that you like and subscribe so that you can get future videos coming in to your subscription feed. All right, with that being said, a couple more things that I knew I was getting and I planned to get. When I was ordering these, it was, I believe, the end of March when I was ordering these, and I saw that they had a few Christmas items still left on their website, and I wanted to get them at clearance prices. So I ended up going for 22 bucks, I got these 4 different cakes, and these are the Christmas Universe yarns. So there's 4 different cakes in there. They're all different variations of kind of green and red colors. There's some more muted colors and some brighter ones in there, which I really liked. I like that you get a lot of variety with that. This is a 98% acrylic and 2% polyester wool. Something that's really nice about the Universe yarns is that they come with kind of this shiny metallic thread throughout. I know it's a bit hard to see with the glare, but yeah, but you can see a lot of that shiny thread, and I think that that just adds something a little special to whatever project you're making. So I've got some different Christmas projects planned for this. Yes, I definitely ordered a little bit earlier than I needed to, but like I said, it was on clearance, Christmas stuff on clearance in March. I believe that they are now out of this on their website, so if you are thinking about buying kind of like Christmas stuff a little early in the year, March seems to be kind of the last call for that sort of thing. To go along with that, I also did get a bag of rainbow cotton yarns. This is the 8/4 cotton. If you've been on my channel before, you know that I really like this 8/4 cotton. It's very soft, it's very versatile, I really like it. And you get a whole bunch of different colors there. So you can see that there's no 2 that are the same. You get a range of different greens and a range of kind of red magenta type colors. So again, I've got a few different projects planned for this yarn, and I'm very excited about making some videos for that. So I'm not gonna spoil it, but just know that I've got some Christmas projects up my sleeve more than 6 months out from Christmas. All right, so there's one more. The rest of it is all from Lucky bags. So this yarn that I got is actually yarn that you can only buy on Hobbii with points. So if you're not familiar with Hobbii, online Danish yarn retailer, the more you buy, the more Hobbii points you get, and then you can redeem those points for free items, basically. And some of the items are tools to do with knitting or crochet or other forms of craft. And some of those things are things like fiber and yarn. So I usually go for fiber and yarn because I can get tools pretty cheap anywhere, but sometimes the yarns that you can find on there are quite unique. The one that I went for this time, and I got 2 balls of it, quite small balls, is this Gossypium? I don't know how to say that. But it's a cotton tweed yarn. So this is a 50-gram ball. You actually get a decent amount of yardage with this, considering it's such a small ball. You get 137 yards of this cotton yarn. It seems to be pretty similar to that Babywool that I showed you earlier. So I would say it's probably, let's see if it'll focus there. I would say that's probably a 2. The only thing that I don't like about this, I love the color. I think it's a beautiful cotton tweed in a nice light white and gray mixture. But the thing that I don't like about this stuff is that, number 1, the balls are quite small. Number 2, you can only get them through points. I haven't looked if there's other online retailers that I could order them from. Let me know if there are some that you know of where I could get this particular yarn from. But the only thing I don't like about it is that you can only get it with points on Hobbii, which is really frustrating because this is a really nice yarn. It's got a really nice feel to it. It's not scratchy at all for a cotton, and I would love to make something like a summer or a spring t-shirt out of this. But I don't think that the yardage I get from just these 2 balls is going to be enough, and it's not likely I'm ever gonna have enough points to get enough for a t-shirt or a sweater quantity. So that's kind of sad, but their offerings are changing all the time. So if this is something that you like, definitely go and check it out. Now that I've rambled on and on about all of the yarns that I knew I was getting, let's get into some of the yarns that I didn't know I was getting. This is the first time that I have ever gotten the Acrylic Lucky bags from Hobbii. I have gotten the wool ones. Again, there will be a video linked somewhere on screen or in the description where you can go and look at that. And I loved them. I loved the wool Lucky bags from Hobbii. They were great. I have not done the acrylic ones until now. And first impressions, I will say, I like the wool bags better. I still recommend this if you're somebody who wants a little bit of a surprise and is totally fine working with any kind of yarn, but I still liked the wool ones better. All right, with that being said, let's get into what was in the first one. So each of the Acrylic Lucky bags had 5 different balls, cakes, or skeins of yarn, and they were $15 US. So I'm in Canada, so that's a little bit more for me, but. Okay, so in the first one we got some Amigo in this really nice dusty rose kind of color. It's actually quite a bit more pastel than it's showing up for some reason. And this is actually the Amigo Chunky. So I did look this up. I'll put the price of what this is normally on the screen here. Again, I think it's about $8 a ball, 100% acrylic, very chunky. They classed it as a size 5 bulky. I would say it's maybe even a 6. And overall you get 109 yards or 100 meters of wool. Well, not wool, acrylic yarn. So I did end up getting 2 in that color, that nice dusty rose color. And I ended up with 1 in this kind of, almost like a jade green, or what I would even call like a succulent color. Sometimes you get those succulents that are kind of like a nice desaturated green, very cute. I actually think it could go quite well with this, depending on the project. Just depends. I don't know what I'll make out of them. They probably wouldn't have been my first choice, to be honest, but I'm still happy that I got them because I did want to try out their Amigo yarns. Pretty soft, not the craziest, softest acrylic yarn I've ever had, but a pretty good chunky value yarn, I would say. All my yarns get entangled here. In that same Lucky bag, the last 2 balls that I ended up with, or skeins, were actually this Acacia yarn. So you can see that I got 1 in white here and 1 in kind of an ecru off-white color here. Otherwise, they're exactly the same. And I was actually really excited to get these because they are an acrylic cotton blend yarn. So it was really cool to see that you're not getting just acrylic, like purely acrylic yarns in the Acrylic Lucky bag option. I really like when there's kind of the strength of acrylic, but mixed with the benefits of some other fibers. So in this case with cotton, you'd get the benefit of it being a little more breathable. If you were doing wool, wool is very, very warm, but often it needs kind of that stabilizing factor from the acrylic. So there's always kind of some kind of benefit to having these blends. So I'm really glad to see this in my lucky bag. 250 meters, 273 yards, and it is classified as a number 3 light. So that would be kind of like a DK weight. So those were the 5 balls that I got in the first Acrylic Lucky bag. Moving on to the second one, I was much happier with what I ended up with. I've been looking up a lot of these Acrylic Lucky bag unboxings on YouTube, and I definitely have pegged yarns that they typically tend to put into these lucky bags. And there were definitely ones that I wanted to get and ones that I didn't so much care for. One that I don't really care for that I did end up getting a couple of skeins of is this World of Yarn Malaga. It's just 100% acrylic, number 4 worsted weight, very much your typical value yarn. It's a bit softer than, let's say, a Red Heart Super Saver. It's definitely not as scratchy as that. Maybe comparable to the Lion Brand Pound of Love. Kind of your typical acrylic construction. You can see there, nice twist to it. Nothing special. Got it in an off-white color and got it in this nice kind of darkish green color. Stuff like this is the kind of stuff that I love to experiment with. It's not typically something that I will make a full project out of. I like to kind of use a nicer, maybe fiber content, or just a nice like softer acrylic for big projects and things that will go close to the skin. But for something like this is what I like to experiment with. This is what I'll make crocheted flowers out of. This is the kind of stuff that I will try wool sculpture with or something. Like, this is the stuff that's always good to have in your stash just so that you can experiment and not feel like you're wasting a really good quality yarn. That's not to say that this is bad quality at all. I'll put the numbers on the screen here of how much you can get this for on Hobbii's website. But yeah, it's just kind of your run-of-the-mill decent value yarn skein. You get 165 meters, or that's 180 yards of yeah, just your run-of-the-mill value worsted weight acrylic. It's always good to have. One that I was excited and actually didn't expect to get was this stuff, and this is Hobbii's Fluffy Day. This is a yarn that I really didn't pay much mind to when I saw it on their website, but now that I have it in person, I'm gonna spend a little more of my attention looking at this when I make my next Hobbii order, whenever that is, probably a year from now because I'm on a yarn buying ban, but we're not gonna talk about that. Anyways, so this is very, very soft. You can see that it's kind of got that regular value yarn twist to it. That there, and then it's got that really nice heathery halo. Now it does look almost like it's trying to be a mohair dupe. It's not quite that soft and delicate, but it is doing a really good job considering it's 100% acrylic of mimicking a mohair feel. So if you're somebody who really wants that softness but maybe has a wool allergy, this would be a great option for you. This is a number 4 medium. Again, the central strand is definitely not a number 4. It's maybe a number 3, but I think with that fluffy halo, they kind of bump it up to a 4. 100% acrylic. You actually get quite a lot of yardage from one of these. You get 311 yards or 285 meters. And overall, it just seems like a really great, fluffy, soft, basic yarn. I could really see somebody wanting a scarf out of this, something that goes close to the skin. It won't irritate, at least for me it doesn't. You know, it's acrylic, less likely to give allergy symptoms, unless you're allergic to acrylic, which does happen, so be careful. But overall, just a really great unexpected find in my lucky bags, and it's really turned me on to looking at this Fluffy Day yarn for future projects. So very excited about that and very ready to just like snuggle it all day because it's very soft. Last 2 items that I got, I guess little cakes that I got in my second lucky bag. This was what I was hoping for. This was the stuff that I saw other people getting in their lucky bags that I was hoping I would get some of, and that is that Hobbii Universe yarn. So these look pretty similar, but they're actually different colorways. Over here we've got color 42, and over here we've got color 14. So if you're interested, this is 42, this is 14, and they're just so cute. They're just so pretty. I really wanted to get some of these because I like the idea of using these in like color work socks where you've got a base color that's just, you know, solid black, let's say. And then for the color work, you end up with these color changing, metallic, really pretty acrylic yarns. This is a 98% acrylic, 2% polyester yarn, just like with the Christmas Universe, and it does say XL over here. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's yardage based or what, but it's Universe XL, designed in Denmark, made in Turkey. Very nice. So that is it. That is everything that I got at Hobbii, everything I expected to get, and everything that I got in my 2 Acrylic Lucky bags. If you enjoyed this video, please do not hesitate to like and subscribe for future content. Also, drop a comment down below if you have gotten these Acrylic Lucky bags before. Did you enjoy them? Did you get any similar yarns to me? Are there certain yarns that you just kind of always get in your Acrylic Lucky bags? Let me know in the comments below. I would be very interested to hear from you. With that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!